All right, so I'm Shannon, and I am trying to respond to this video that this guy made, kind of bashing what I said in one of my videos, and some of the things he says just didn't make sense. Tell me about your licenses and maybe some of your experience. What's your background?
Yeah, so I'm a registered representative. I have a Series 6, Series 63. So I can handle many different investment types, mutual funds, variable products, things that have direct exposure to the market.
So, when you watched the video that we're talking about, what was just your overall take on it?
I did. I think there's definitely an agenda there, right? You know, where folks want to troll you, maybe for maybe they're under the impression that bad publicity, any publicity is good publicity. That being said, I think those are some very harsh words for someone who's basically only pulling segments of the full picture out that fit their criteria. Right, and so essentially to say that, to make the claims that you're not someone who's fit to be a financial advisor or that it's a stupid IUL product is clearly somebody, it's either coming from a place, for lack of a better way of putting it, from a place of ignorance towards the product.
No, why do you say that? Because my next question was going to be, you can sell a lot more products than I can in the financial world. So what is your overall, I mean, we sell IULs all the time. Why do you think this person is saying they're bad products? Like Forbes says they're a good product. Now Ford, in his defense, does have an article 8 months before saying, blowing the whistle on IULs. That was in like March, I believe. In October, they released another article that said IULs might just be the new 401k. So maybe they're coming around to things. But I mean, overall, what do you think? I guess what's your take on the IUL?
I think it's a pretty complex product, right? So to be able to wrap your head around it, it takes some time, some exposure to the product, some knowledge and education, right? Otherwise, it's very quick to just say, something's ugly or whatever the case might be. Do I think an IUL is the end-all, be-all solution for every individual? No,
yeah, definitely not.
And that's not what anybody's saying, right? Do I think it's a phenomenal product for the right individual? Yeah.
Of course.
And if structured appropriately, the right index, the right client, the right carrier, when the stars align, it can be phenomenal for someone.
I think what happens is I think a lot of this comes from, in 1997, Transamerica invented the first IUL. And back then they did not have a zero floor, is my understanding. So Grandma one day got a letter because the market crashed after she had spent her life earnings dumping it into that account. And it said, "Thank you for your business, ma'am. You no longer have a policy, nor do you have any cash value. You're done," right? But today that can't happen because there is a zero guarantee, right?
Right, and there's a big difference too. I think there's maybe, and again, right, no two carriers or products are created equal. However, that being said, I think there's a negative association with maybe universal life products. And I'm not bashing them. I'm not saying, one's good or bad or anything like that. What I will see is that, or what I will say is that in the past, I've personally witnessed like some universal life products that were quoted to be like a permanent policy. So you have an individual who pays this premium, we'll say $100 a month for years and years. They get to be 78 years old. Right, and now, and this is a hypothetical situation, right?
Sure.
But now they turn 79, 80 years old, whatever it is, and they're being told, okay, in order to keep this policy alive, you have to overfund it, and it's going to cost you now, instead of $100, it's about $1,800 a month, and it no longer makes sense. So you basically outgrown the policy, and it was designed to eat itself. That is in no way, shape, or form what an index universal life does or how it behaves. It's a completely different product. But I think people get confused there as well.
Sure. So in my experience, I have a lot of people like this that jump straight in, just like Dave Ramsey. You know, again, I used to do some Financial Peace University stuff, but I think no product is good or bad. I think it's either right for your situation or it's not. And to figure that out, you have to ask questions. So the fact that, like, I'm not going online saying an IUL is the best thing since sliced bread, everybody needs one, and that couldn't be further from the truth. It has to be set up right. Like you said, it's got to be structured right. Typically, I look for people that are under 50 to get one of those because it does have a rising cost of insurance. It does have fees. I've got to make sure those fees and rising costs of insurance don't eat the policy, like you said. So to come online and say, oh, these IULs are all bad is kind of horseshit. It's like you didn't even ask any questions. You don't even know how it's being applied, where it's being used. You know, to me, that's just kind of insane that you would just make an assumption and say, this product is the devil, when maybe it's perfect for this person, but not for that person. Maybe this person had a bad experience with it, and he just now thinks all IULs are bad, but they're definitely not.
Right, 100%. And that's the case with any, I think if we made a TikTok video saying receiving a $100 bill from a stranger is a good thing, somebody's going to hop on and say, no, it's terrible. Now you're going to be taxed on it, and it's really going to enable you. And so there's always going to be these random points of view or people that just, frankly, have too much time on their hands, maybe. Yeah. And
are just not as educated on the topic.
I mean, 100%.
That's what we do all day long.
Yeah. It's you know, I don't
what 40,000 apps in a month.
Yeah, at least. Yep. And so, and that's the difference too, right? You know, I couldn't go to, you know, it's probably a terrible example, right? But I couldn't go to a TJ Maxx and, you know, start coding their clothes and folding things appropriately, and that's just, you know, it's not what I do, right?
Yeah, you've not been trained to do that.
No, but we do this day in and day out, you know, and we're legal fiduciaries. So even though I like to, I look at myself as a very trustworthy individual. I pride myself on being a trustworthy person.
I think our whole company does. That is our main thing. Is our number one goal is to make sure the client's best interest is the first thing we look for. Yeah,
we want to guide you down the right path so that this is a long-term relationship, right? If I'm helping, say, a young family, you know, Lord willing, I live long enough, I'd like to help that family's children as they become adults and so on and so forth. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And I think you can only achieve that by doing right by people. And we are legally, we're fiduciaries. We have a legal responsibility to take the information and guide folks down the right path. And if that's an Index Universal Life, and in many cases it is, it's a great product.
Yeah. Plus, word of mouth can help you or hurt you. So if we were out there just lying to everybody, stealing their money, word would get out, and we would not be the #1 IMO in the entire country.
Yeah, not exactly a sustainable method there. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's right. But again, you know, I think it's a great product. It is sort of, you know, it's referred to many times as the Swiss Army knife of products and or solutions as they go. That being said, is it for everybody? No, but I don't think that's what we're trying to say. Is a 401k the devil or anything like that? No. Are there better, more suitable, maybe more superior products out there? Sure, by all means. But again, every individual situation will dictate what we're talking. The big thing is, I think we're trying to educate the general public on their options, what's out there, so that they can actually get the opportunity to vote one way or the other. That's all we're doing.
Now, touching on his, you know, this is the worst math I've ever seen, salesman math, whatever his comment was. If those were the only options on there, then yes, I agree, 100%. That math is bad. So I actually did make a mistake on the math. I put 50, and the number is actually 500%, is what my training and what our paperwork shows. So I wasn't saying if you added up just those 4 things. Those are just 4 examples of where banks make money. That is not the only 4 places they make money.
Clearly, yeah.
What I was saying is if you add up all the different loans that banks do, that is roughly how much money they're making. So yes, my math is incorrect if you're looking at just those 4 things, but there's a lot of other types of loans and ways that banks make money besides just those little 4 examples. So I
How dare
apologize,
you
I
not
worded
be
that
perfect?
wrong.
Yeah. How dare you not meticulously state every little aspect of every little thing?
Yeah,
You
and
know
I
what
didn't
mean?
even think about that. When I posted it the first time, like I had one person mention that, and I was like, oh, shoot, I can see how that looks right. Yeah, they're right. I mean, you know, I probably should have worded it better, explained it better. But back when I recorded that, TikTok allowed you, I don't know, like 3 minutes or something. And,
Right.
you know, now I think with the number of followers I have or whatever, I think I'm allowed 10 minutes. But back then I made a quick video. What's funny is that's not the point of the video.
No, no,
Even if
it's
the math was horrible, I didn't use the math as a sales tactic. I was just showing people what you can do. And technically, if you want to get really down in the nitty gritty, an IUL is not an infinite banking concept. You see tons of videos online talking about how infinite banking, what you do is you put money in an IUL. Well, sure, if you don't mind waiting 10 or 15 years after the surrender charge, because you can't touch the money in IUL quickly in most cases. There are ways. There's some writers, you know, with some companies
Sure.
we have.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're going to have, let's say, a 10-year on average wait before you can touch the money. So technically, IBC is referring to mutual whole life, which is where you can put $100 in today and borrow $90 out, you know, in 30 days. Hopefully you're not just putting in 100, you're putting 100,000 and you're borrowing out
Right,
90.
right.
But yeah. So anyway, any other comments? Anything you'd like to say?
No, I don't. Again, I don't think there's any misrepresentation or anything like that. You know, it's easy to pick holes through anything.
Sure.
I go out and say the sky is blue again. That's tell as old as time.
Somebody
Someone's
goes out
gonna
the
have a
next day and
problem,
like,
yeah.
it's gray.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a liar.
Yeah, you dummy. Yeah, you know.
You're an idiot.
And look, man, I mean, it's not that anyone's right or wrong, or it's like, okay, dude, you can beat me up all you want to, but at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is help the general public. You know, I'm not getting paid to sit here and have this conversation, right? So, but I would like for people to
I'll
be
buy you dinner.
more. Thank you. You're too kind. He won't, by the way.
I will.
But I think it's important that folks are further educated on these options, what's out there. I think, you know, the fact that there's so much more exposure these days, that's a positive all day.
Right.
And if you don't like it, guess what? Now you know you can make an informed decision.
Sure.
Right? Oh, I get to vote. I know I got this and that. There's solutions. We'll educate you, and from there the ball's in your court, so to speak. That's all we're doing. But if you don't know, you can't vote.
Now, one more question. You know, I have a lot of videos talking about the 401ks, and you know, Dave Ramsey posted the video or posted an article a couple weeks ago saying stop investing in a 401k. I read that. Good read. But the fact that Ted Benna, the man who invented the 401k, the father of the 401k, came forward on national television and basically said it sucks. And I'm making video. I posted Ted's video. I didn't say anything. Ted said 401ks are not good.
Right.
Essentially, there's
Right.
a much longer, more detailed message than that.
Yeah, it was never a permanent solution, or not meant to be.
It was not meant to be. It was meant to
Right.
be a supplement to pension and Social Security.
Right.
But a lot of companies adopted it as here's our full retirement package. And it was not meant to do that. So Ted came forward and kind of blew the whistle on the 401k, and still people argue and say that I'm incorrect. A 401k is the best thing to do, and they think either the annuity is bad, they think the IUL is bad, the IBC is bad, they think the 401k can't be beat. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on?
Well, you know, is a 401k sometimes or often better than nothing? Probably.
Yeah.
Right? You know, do something. You work hard for your money. You want your money working hard for you. However, that being said, you know, I know several people, I have clients that had their money in the market, in the 401k specifically, during, we'll call it 08, 09. You know, and anybody that was around or had their money in the market at that point, we know there was a huge loss, you know, and many people upwards of 40, 50% losses, right? And some less, some more. So again, don't nitpick me. But, you know, let's say I had a client that had nearly $1 million in there, and within a 12-month period now has closer to 500,000. That stings.
Especially if they're close
Right.
to retiring. It's
Yeah.
going to take them, what,
And
15,
I guess
20 years to earn that back.
Yeah, and that's the difference between, you know, a quote-unquote investment. An investment basically means that there's the opportunity, the risk for loss.
Yeah, that was another comment he made.
Yeah.
He said that you never see us use the word investment, and that is correct. I can't legally say life insurance products are an investment because there's no risk. So is there any other reason? Like he was alluding that there was another reason that I'm not allowed to say investment. But he's saying I can't say the word investment because I'm not legally allowed. And that is true. I am not legally allowed to call life insurance retirement policies, LIRP, an investment. But to my understanding, it's simply because they're not tied to the market. They can't necessarily lose money when the market crashes, and the word investment dictates risk. And the fact that these policies are either based off of all gains, no loss, if it's an IUL, an FIA, or if we're talking about infinite banking, it doesn't even touch the market. It's based off of guarantees from the whole life section, and it's based off company performance. And while I can't call it a guarantee, the companies we use have to have been in business for 100 years or longer and never miss a dividend. So if you take like Forrester's Financial, for example, been in business 150 years and their dividend average is 5.8%. So 5.8%, I mean, let's call that 6, and then you get the, let's say 4 from your whole life, that's 10%.
And it paid, through the depression, the recession, all the things. Yeah.
Did not miss a single payment.
Yeah, and I think that was, his taking the opportunity to try and make you look silly or discredit the message that you're trying to put out there. But that's all it means. I mean, if I sat out there, if you didn't know any better and you watched the video, you'd be like, yeah, it's true. Why do they do that? Or why can't they say investment? It's only because investment means, I'm telling you this is an investment because there is or can be risk involved, meaning you can lose. If you put all your money in a 401k or some other retirement vehicle that has direct access to the market, if the market goes up and down, if it goes down, you can take that loss. You will. To what degree depends on a lot of different variables. But again, that's why it's called a variable product, right? Where Index Universal Life, there's no loss. Sure. You're not going to lose. It's insured by the company, the life insurance company, and they have the ones we work with, A+ rated because of their financial strength. They have a surplus of millions and billions of dollars. They're doing okay.
So I was in your office this morning teaching a retirement class to a lot of your coworkers and agents, and I did something called the retirement game where we had option A and option B. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So on option A, I said, do you want to pay taxes or not? Do you want to earn 5% or 10%? Do you want access to your money without a penalty or not? Do you want the ability to lose money? Do you want to be limited on your contribution amounts? Every single time, everyone in that class got it right, and they picked option B, which was some type of life insurance retirement plan. What they did not pick was a 401k, IRA, 403, 457, whatever it might be. So even your average person, we had brand new people that just started, that just saw that list. I don't know how someone that understands 401ks intelligently could say that that is going to beat option B.
Well, and I think that's the again we hold on to titles so heavily, and we're we're indoctrined, so to speak, on what's right and what you do, and you go to school and you go to college, and then you have student loans, and now you invest in a 401k. Maybe it's got a match. If it does, you're lucky, right?
Yeah.
All those things, but a lot of times when we're comparing the candy, we say, God, I like this candy so much better. And we don't know what's the wrapper, and then you tell them, you tell them about the wrapper, and they say, no, I've never liked Butterfinger. You know what I mean? I like Baby Ruth. Well, no, you just explained that you like Butterfinger, you just didn't know it. Yeah. Because you were told that Baby Ruth's better than Butterfinger. And by the way, if you like Butterfinger better than Baby Ruth, that's fine. I do.
I like both.
But what I'm saying is, I think we're so stuck on, what Uncle Roy told us, or somebody who had some impact on our life maybe before, someone that we trusted their opinion, their guidance. And look, we're not here doing this for fun. We're trying to help people, put them in a better spot. We're licensed to do so. We're educated to do so. And when you compare apples to apples, again, every scenario is different. But sure. I don't think by any means a 401k is the most optimal solution. Definitely. Now, a lot of times you can take a layered approach too. I think there's sometimes it requires
like diversifying or what?
Yeah, or multiple solutions to achieve the same goal.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You put some money into an index annuity or a 401k or whatever, but you want to hedge against any risk from the 401k. Maybe put some money over here, or again, whatever's suitable for that individual.
Yeah, it's all about what's best for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool, man. Thank you. Appreciate your time and the info.
Thank you.